Okay, so we're gonna do some diaphragmatic breathing. So I'm sure you've done this before or you get the idea, but just to start fresh with how I like to focus on it, is that when we're inhaling, we're really filling up this part of our belly. So for example, I'll put my hands on my belly just to practice, and I'm gonna breathe in through my nose and feel it expand. Nice and big. As Americans, with our kind of viewpoints on how we're supposed to look, we tend to walk around with our tummies tucked in because we don't want anyone to see that we have maybe a little bit of a protruding belly, even though it's completely normal to. So we, even when we're relaxed, we tend to kind of hold it in. So kind of when you're sitting too, I mean, it's good to use your core muscles, but it's also okay when you're intentionally trying to do diaphragmatic breathing to just let it go. So one of the things I really love is these really intentional out breaths, because that's when you can really get some of that like toxic kind of energy out. So when I breathe in, I just inhale when I get to the top of the mountain, so to speak. I hold it, and then I do a nice audible exhale. So for example, hold. And when I do that, I'm literally just sinking down. And then I inhale and I bring my shoulders up. And then sometimes when I exhale, I bring them back. So there's a couple of different ways, because sometimes we feel like we want to go into ourselves, and sometimes we feel like we want to come out to ourselves. So let's do a couple of in and out with the shoulders back, okay? So hold, 2, 3, let the shoulders drop back. And so in East Asian culture, right, they call that kind of letting the chi, the energy out. And it's not always good energy. We're letting that more negative chi out. When you're breathing in, you can almost think of that you're breathing the peaceful kind of energy particles in. And there's a lot that can be said about this with quantum physics. It's not just all woo-woo pseudoscience. And that when you're breathing out, kind of picture the negative energy particles leaving your body. Like you were saying, this mind over matter concept. So let's do this kind of 5 times in a row. All right. In. Out. And a throaty kind of exhale at the end too is helpful. In. Out. It's okay to scream too. Sometimes I do just for fun. In. Out. On this next one, we're gonna do in, shoulders up, and then out, we're just gonna kind of coil in. Ready? In. Out. On this one, we're gonna do in, and when we do out, we're gonna shake off the energy, okay? Out. So in yoga, I might say this incorrectly. I always forget if it's breath of fire or lion's breath. But you breathe in, and when you breathe out, you put your tongue out. I don't know if you've ever seen the, when they do rugby, I don't remember, but I love it. Anyways, they also do that, and there's something about putting the tongue out and getting all that energy out. Super silly. So you breathe in, and then you kind of breathe out. Looks ridiculous, feels really good. So try that a couple times too. It also loosening up that jaw. We tend to lock the jaw, and it unhinges it, and you just stick your tongue out as hard as you can, and you just audibly exhale. It's just so nurturing and therapeutic for the body. Okay, so one last thing. Ujjayi breathing is essentially what we were doing, But there's another way to kind of try to find this baseline homeostasis of where we should be with breathing. And we were just breathing through the nose and out the mouth, and that's great. But sometimes when we want to really have this control with our breathing, we just use our nose, okay? So I'm going to show you, and it can be a little bit tricky. But what you're going to do is you're going to hold one nostril closed, and we always start with the left nostril. And I'm going to show you first. So we breathe in, 2, 3, and then hold, 2, 3, and then we let go of this side, out. Ideally count to 6, but clearly I can't count and do it at the same time. All right, now we're on this side, so we still hold this side and we breathe in. Counting till 6 or 7. All right, ready? Hold, 2, 3, breathe out. Breathe in. Hold, 2, 3. Breathe out right. Breathe in. Hold, 2, 3. Breathe out. Breathe in. And you always end on the left side. That's just really good because it forces you, especially without using your mouth for the out breath. It's a really good kind of recalibration. It's like a great reboot for the brain. So try that out. And also, I would encourage you, even I wasn't courageous enough to do the out breath the way I normally would. My 7-year-old's sitting here. He always makes fun of me when I do it. But I mean, do it, you know? Sit in a quiet room. I don't know if anyone else would hear you and they'd be like, but whatever. It feels so good. So hopefully this is helpful. I know it helps me out a lot too.